where are you at with your development in your head?
I mean, I just feel sharp right now. I feel like I'm executing well, and if you execute well, that's what the best pitchers on the planet do. They execute at the highest clip at the highest level, and I mean that's the goal, to keep executing higher and higher.
Sitting down with Ixan Henderson today here in the Beak Box. Ixan, we want to go through like a whole bunch of stuff, your career, your life, and learn a little bit more about you. And I kind of want an elephant in the room from the beginning. So looked at your baseball reference page, look at your MLB page, it says Philip Henderson. Mm-hmm. So when did Ixan come into the mix in your life?
It's my middle name, so parents have always called me it. Yeah, it's been what I've been called my whole life.
Really?
Middle name, just certain people go by their middle names.
So never Philip, never Phil, nothing, huh?
Nah, not unless someone's mad, They're trying to poke a little fun at it.
So I know that Ixan, like the name Ixan, like I heard you say was your mom's, like that was the name your mom wanted, right? Like was it ever going to be your first name, or do you even know the history, the lore behind the name?
I'm not 100% sure with that, but yeah, my dad's name is Phil, so I think kind of down that route, but I'm not sure if they ever thought about going first name with it.
When did you start playing baseball, man? When did the journey begin?
Probably like first grade, around that time, kindergarten, t-ball. I went into it pretty young. First sport, I'm pretty sure. It's like that and basketball growing up for the most part.
Was baseball like the thing for you? Like were you in love immediately? Was it love at first sight?
I did have a ton of fun playing. When I was younger, basketball was definitely my favorite. But as you get older, the slow game, you start to see in between the lines, and then baseball becomes a lot more fun. For a young kid, you can see how baseball gets boring when you don't really see the chess match between the pitcher and the hitter as much when you're younger. But yeah, it only gets better as you get older and more advanced.
Sure. What position were you in basketball?
I was point guard, shooting guard.
Okay,
yeah.
So you've always been the guy with the ball in your hand then,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Was that like a natural thing for you to like immediately pick up being a point guard?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, lefty running the point. I mean, who doesn't like that,
Yeah. Who was your basketball team growing up then?
The Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're watching Derek Fisher lead the charge. And it's a perfect era then.
Kobe, Pau Gasol.
Of course. What other hobbies, like outside of sports, what were you doing as a kid?
Playing outside a ton. Used to love to skateboard, longboard, bikes, just a ton of sports. I was always outside. Played a lot of video games as well. From a young age, I started playing. Yeah, it was pretty much the big two that I could think of. Camping, went camping a ton when I was younger. Yeah, a lot of outdoor stuff. Movies, always liked movies as well. Yeah.
It's kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Were you any good at skating? Were you a decent skater?
Skateboarding was tough, but I used to ride a longboard around everywhere. I was a big longboard kid, just riding to school, around the neighborhood, just all the time.
You were riding that at Fresno State too?
For a little bit, but I mean,
Baseball.
you got to take care of the risks and stuff
Sure.
like that. You
Sure.
don't really want to take the risk.
What about movies, man? Favorite movies growing up? Favorite movie franchises? Anything?
I love the Star Wars movies.
Okay.
Revenge of the Sith. That's all time.
So you would have been what? Pretty young when that came out, right? That
pretty
was
young.
03.
Grew up on those ones for sure. Quentin Tarantino movies. I'm a big fan of all those. Yeah, I like sci-fi a ton, but yeah, I'm a big movie guy for
Very
sure.
nice. Let's talk. I kind of want to go back to the basketball thing, but you played in high school too, right? Like you were two sporting a little bit.
For my first 2 years, first 2 years, freshman JV. I mean, had good years, but baseball, we always kind of know it's baseball. When you're a left-handed pitcher, it's maybe the easy route, some might say, or yeah.
So you didn't think there was any future in basketball at that point?
I think there could have been, but to make it in basketball, you have to be a freak athlete. Like, there's not a ton of non-freak athletes in the NBA. You know, probably count them on two hands.
Yeah,
you know,
sure. When did baseball for you start getting serious then? If you're kind of seeing the writing on the wall by the time you get to high school, was that kind of the turning point, or was it a little earlier for you?
I mean, I always knew I wanted to play some type of sport past high school, and in my community, baseball is pretty big, and the best players in my community always go play in college and professional. So just kind of seeing where I stacked up against people in my area kind of gave me the confidence to be like, people before me have been in this position and done it. So just following that path, kind of, you kind of see it lay out.
Were you ever like, I'm assuming you play like Little League and stuff like that, were you like all-star team or anything like that, or did?
Yeah, I was solid for sure.
And I'm assuming, already starting to pitch at that point too, right?
Yeah. I was I hit a bit too, outfield, first base, caught a little bit when I was younger, lefty catcher.
Oh wow. So you had the special glove and everything, the right-handed catcher's glove.
Yeah.
Special order that if you had to. That's wild.
Yeah, it's
That's
a ton of
crazy.
fun.
How long did you catch then?
Maybe for like 2 years at most. 1 year for sure, and then like maybe a sprinkled handful other times another year.
Is that glove still in Fresno at parents' house? Still
No.
find it somewhere?
I don't know where that glove is. I got one though right now in the clubhouse.
Oh, you got a lefty
yeah.
catcher's glove? Oh, I love it.
Catch some flat grounds here and then.
Oh, that's awesome.
For the guys.
That's sweet. I know you're super proud Fresno, dude. Was there any chance? I know that like Fresno State seemed to be like the thing. Was there any chance any other school was going to pry you away from that?
Maybe if a big enough school showed a good amount of interest. But with what I had, it was always going to be Fresno. Yeah.
You didn't have any other offers, or like, I'm assuming like maybe some D2s or something like that, or?
I had pretty much everything around California, but nothing too big, like no UCLAs, nothing like that, no USCs, no.
So it was an easy decision, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. And to stay at home, play in front of everyone, it was the best.
Yeah, of course. Did you grow up going to those games as a kid? Or were you not really?
Not as much baseball. We went to a ton of football games. That's a big thing there. But no, I didn't go to a ton of baseball games growing up. I mean, that's right in the timeline of when I was playing too. So, like, it's tough when you're going to school and then playing 3 days, every day on the weekend and then twice a week during the week. Like, it's tough to find time to go catch games like that.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. He comes home. And a curveball swung on and missed. Strikeout number 8 for Ixan Henderson.
When for you did it start like looking that draft was going to be a thing? Because it didn't seem like you were generating a ton of buzz out of high school. You weren't the J.J. Weatherholts of the world, or the Chase Davises of the world that were going to be first rounders or whatever. So when did it become like, okay, this is starting to get serious, man, and I have a chance here?
Probably sophomore year. I was the Friday guy at Fresno State, and I mean, once again, you see guys in these positions where they're the Friday guys for their school, they're having success, and it's like those guys get drafted, So then, kind of just put yourself in their shoes and just kind of see what they did and see the routes they went, and you just kind of just follow the path. I mean, people pave it already. It's usually written in stone for most guys, and you just gotta follow what you have to do your stuff, and just compete and perform, really. But
when you get that Friday starter tab, like I guess we actually haven't talked to anybody about this on this show. Like, is that a big moment for a college pitcher? I gotta imagine that seem, or is it kind of just like that's the most logical step?
It's for sure. It feels good to be the ace. That's always a good feeling. It's always fun. Going into a week against another team, and you have to go show them. Like kind of go perform and compete at that level of what a Friday guy would. So it's a challenge, and either you step up or you don't. But it's fun to have the opportunity for those challenges.
Sure. Let's talk draft, dude. 8th round, 2023. looking back on that round especially, like what does that mean to you? Where's your head at when you think back to 2023 and getting the call?
I was extremely blessed. Extremely blessed. The Cardinals, I mean, great org. Super excited when I got the call from them. Yeah, I mean, extremely blessed. Not everyone gets to do it. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say than that. Like it was a great experience. It was a great day. Yeah.
Did you know 8th was kind of where you were landing, or was that later than you were anticipating, earlier than you were anticipating?
I mean, I have all the confidence in the world. I thought I could have went a little bit higher, but I mean, you see it every day. There's 20 rounds now, but you have dudes in 30th round in the big leagues, so really doesn't matter. It's harder to get your foot in the door nowadays, but once you do, it's the same game. It's probably even a little bit better for the minor leaguers now with less people, less players and people in orgs. So once you get your foot in the door, it's a lot of fun.
Did you have that mindset going into it? Because like you're still, you're a little bit, I wouldn't say on the older side or anything, but you're not like a kid out of high school. Mm-hmm. So when you go through the college process and your, in theory, brain's still developing or whatever, and your confidence is still developing and all that, like did you have that mindset going into it, or you sitting there on draft day, waiting it out and going, man, I haven't been called yet? Like kind of take me back to that day in your life where your head was at.
Oh. Yeah, I knew I was going to be a day 2 guy, which, what is it, 3rd through 10th round, yeah. Right? So, I knew if I didn't get called on that day, I'd for sure go day 3. So, there's people who don't get the opportunity, so I was just so grateful to have the opportunity to know that I was more than likely going to get drafted. Sure. So, felt like it'd be kind of selfish to some people if I'm sitting there, like, super mad about where I got picked. I have buddies who've played their whole life who didn't get picked, and I'm not going to be that guy to be parading around saying, oh, I should have went, blah, 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 Yeah,
that was great. You were the MLB Combine, right? Like you could go into that. One of the teams I heard you spoke with was St. Louis at that time, right? Like, what were those conversations like? Was it serious at that point, or how does that process work?
At that time, everything is so, you're just winging it so much, really, where it's like you're talking to teams and you really don't know what's going on. Everything's so new. It's like coming to you so fast. So I was just trying to make a good impression to everyone that I spoke to at that time. And, at the time I didn't think much of it. But, they must have liked what they heard or what they saw, so I'm grateful for sure.
Like, all the teams that are talking to you, are they just, like, asking, like, what do they just ask you? Like, it's not like is it formal? Like, I've never been to a combine or anything, so I'm just curious what that whole day looks like. Do you just work out, and then teams like, hey, we'd like to meet you, or how is that?
Yeah, you have, like, meetings planned out, just whatever. It could be one day, you have 2 one day, 3 the next day, something like that. You go into the booths. They have their little setup in the booths, and they just ask you questions, try to get to know you a little bit. Maybe ask you, certain teams might ask you harder questions, trying to see if they can stump you on something, see how you react. Or some teams might just keep it super simple, ask about your routine, your process, why you try to do certain things. But it's all good stuff. It's all useful information for sure.
So it's like a job fair, basically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
You just kind of go in interview to interview. I want to talk about your development, dude. Like when St. Louis comes in the picture, obviously you get drafted and all that stuff, and then you report and you're all excited, like, okay, here we go, it's happening. What's St. Louis talking to you about? Like when you first report, how do those first conversations go after, hey, welcome to spring training or whatever?
So last year was different management as far as on the pitching side. And I felt that it was kind of just like a show me who you are, see how your stuff plays in pro ball. We'll get some innings under your belt, and then we'll reassess. Kind of just see how you play against professional hitters, because it's so different. It's such a different game. The chess pieces are moved differently. It's you have to think about stuff a different way, and they just kind of see where you're at and then make moves on that, rather than try to move you around before they even see how you stack up or how you perform. Because it is a different game from college for sure.
Sure, that makes sense. This year, obviously, AA, first taste of AA ball, you jump out of the gate like fantastic. April is going so well for you. Were you surprised by the Pitcher of the Month award? Like, how did that rank for you?
Maybe a little bit. I knew I was throwing the ball well, but yeah, I mean, I was excited. That's a good accolade to get for sure. Yeah, especially first month of the season. I mean, it's definitely good confidence on your back. But yeah, I just want to keep pushing forward, stay sharp.
Yeah, because like we've seen some some articles and things written about you as you've kind of made your name known a little bit more here in Springfield. I've seen people say, "Oh, he's pitching with a little bit more swagger this year," or things seems to be working a little bit better for you. Like, has that been your experience so far? Do you feel like you're at the top of your game? Do you feel like you're developing more? Like, when it comes to, like, we're about the halfway point now. So where are you at with your development in your head?
I have a better idea of what I need to do. For one, in college, it's a lot more coach-based, where the coaches are running a lot of the stuff. Coaches are calling the pitches, and you're kind of just up there like a robot. Like, I mean, you wouldn't like to do that, but that's just kind of how the college game is played. Not a ton of thinking for yourself, and I think I've benefited a ton from being able to like work with my catcher and call your own game within there, make adjustments throughout the game, and it's more on you. It's not as much driven from the dugout. So that's been a ton of fun, and I mean, I just feel sharp right now. I feel like I'm executing well, and if you execute well, that's what the best pitchers on the planet do. They execute at the highest clip at the highest level, and I mean, that's the goal, to keep executing higher and higher.
Yeah. They haven't had you focused on anything different or any changes this season. That it's just been go out and do your thing. Then you just feel like, do you feel like you have that freedom now, like since it's changed just as you've gotten older and moved levels and stuff, and obviously now with the new regime, I heard that there's some changes in that, how they're handling your development, how like they'll check in with you a couple more times, they'll give you things to work on. Like, has that been your experience so far too?
Yeah, they've been a ton of help. They've been really good so far this year, and I'm real glad to have some new faces in my corner for sure.
Four-seamer, changeup, cutter, slider, curve. It's a pretty wide swath of pitches. So how did those come to be? Like, was there anything that you added? I know that you and Mott's talked a little bit about the cutter and stuff, but like, where did all those pitches come from, man? How did you develop those?
In high school, I was mainly fastball, curveball. Got to college, started throwing a slider, mainly fastball, slider, and then started messing around with the changeup more. Started throwing that more, but that was more of like a show-me pitch. So I was mainly fastball, slider, curveball with a show-me changeup out of college. And then first full season last year, made a big emphasis to use the changeup in leverage situations where it's kind of a fight or flight situation, to kind of push the development of that pitch, to throw it in big situations. Things click in your brain in those situations where you unlock new things, unlock new patterns in your brain. And then I had all four of those, and then I started throwing the cutter like last 2 weeks of last year, and then into the fall league I threw it there, and I haven't been throwing it a ton this year, but I throw it when needed. I throw it when a hitter makes me adjust to throw that pitch, and I mean, I'd like to see them make me adjust before I start throwing it a little more.
Only use it if you need it, kind of thing.
1-2 pitch, Henderson delivers. Fastball, blew it by him. 94. And it's strikeout number 6 for Ixan.
All right, man. We do this at the end of every episode. This is the Cardinals Quickfire presented by the Springfield Daily Citizens, man. So I'm just going to give you a whole bunch of questions that have nothing to do with each other. Most of them have nothing to do with baseball. So we're just going to see how you rock and roll with this. First one on the Quickfire today, man. What was your first car?
Toyota Camry.
Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
Old, new, like beater.
Hand me down, yeah. Nah, it wasn't a beater. It was a beautiful car.
Oh,
Beautiful
nice.
car.
Love it.
Did everything it needed to do.
What's been the worst pronunciation of your name that you've heard?
So I would say the worst is people get so rattled by the first name that they call me Hernandez. So like they'll butcher the first name and then they just get so sped up that they say Hernandez on top of it. So I think probably anything with Hernandez at the end.
So have you gotten like an Ixan Hernandez?
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. Like as you're warming up or whatever,
Or
in class or
or they'll get the first name right, and then they'll go Hernandez just because they're like so excited or so I don't know. They just get sped up a little bit.
That's weird because we asked Connor Herpy the same question last year. Connor Herpy, see, I just did it. He Cooper Jerpy. I just did it in my head because he got Connor Herpy when he went to the mound. So maybe it was the same thing. They were so focused on the last name that they slipped on the Cooper, like I just did right there.
Yeah.
Great work, Steve. Did you ever take a viticulture or enology class at Fresno State?
No.
No.
No
interest.
No. Say that again?
The that's the wine classes that they have. Because it's big. It's like wine country.
Yeah, for sure. A ton of agriculture out there.
So no interest in wine, no interest in that world?
I mean, that's just not where my focus was. I don't know. No, I didn't take one of those.
No, you missed out.
Mm-hmm.
What shampoo do you use? I feel like you got good hair, man.
I mean, I don't know what I'm using right now.
So it's not a conscious effort. You're just like grabbing off the shelf.
Yeah. I don't. Pantene, maybe. I'm gonna go Pantene.
Okay, and that's different at home than it is here in the clubhouse.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever's in the clubhouse, you just whatever. Nice. Do you play any instruments?
No,
never.
I mean, I played the trumpet back in elementary school for a year. I mean, I'd like to use the saxophone or learn how to play the saxophone. Ton of music I listen to. They do a lot of saxophone.
What are you listening to then?
Like house music.
Oh, okay.
Like house music with a ton of saxophone in it. It's that or piano. Those are two big ones.
Kind of the world, yeah. Can you? We're gonna put this on screen. Can you explain this picture? I found this picture and you're in it. What's going on here?
That was my senior year of high school. COVID banged it about 9-10 games in, but that team was electric. We would have done some cool things, and
that's
a great
you in the
picture.
Top right?
Yeah, holding the gas can.
Yeah. Was that a photo shoot day that you got and take pictures?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No.
Yeah, I was able to pull that one up off the internet. Internet's forever, man.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned that you're a big camper growing up. Do you ever head out to Yosemite, being that close?
Yeah, I've been a couple times. Beautiful sights there for sure.
You backpack up there ever? Go Half Dome or anything like that?
I haven't done any of the big hikes. I'd like to, but just haven't yet.
No, not your world. You mentioned you used to swing it a little bit. Is there a big league pitcher right now that you think you could get a hit off of? Like give I don't know, 15 pitches?
15 pitches, probably like 3 ABs. Oh, man. I don't want to take any credit away from those guys because what they do is tough.
It's like Kike Hernandez.
Yeah, maybe Kike.
Maybe Kike. I mean, at this point, he's de facto pitching. Yeah, we'll give you Kike. We'll get that set up. We can do that. All right, and our last one here in the Cardinals Quickfire, dude. I ask every single person this: one batter, alive or dead, that you want to face to show your best stuff to. You've had some great answers in the past, so pressure's on.
Let's just go like Babe Ruth. Old time versus versus something recent. I mean, see how it plays out.
Without a scouting report, do you have any idea what you would throw at him? You just try and see if he can catch up to today's heat?
Yeah, I'd probably just go like fastball up and in, slider. And
Yeah.
maybe if we get away with those, maybe go fastball down and away for a freeze. Yeah.
Speed him up, see what happens.
Mhm.
See if he's still figuring out what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, Ixan Henderson, thanks for joining us today, man.